all of our rules.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Liars Club. I'm Felicia Michaels.
And I'm Jessica Wellington.
And what we do here at the Liars Club is we have two of our comedy pals come on. We ask them to tell two stories. One is the truth and one is a lie. And then we try to figure out which one is a lie. Thankfully, with some of you that are playing along.
Yeah, it's going to be a ball.
It's going to be a blast. Jessica, would you please introduce our guest?
Oh, I would love to. Over here, this gentleman to my left, he is a comedian. Just came here from Kansas City. He has a podcast called Tall and Oats. Super excited to have him. This is Trey Thompson.
Welcome to the show,
Thank
Trey
you guys.
Thompson. Welcome.
The most welcoming intro ever.
Okay.
I wish I had credits to make it better, but
I thought that was all right. No?
Kansas City and podcast, that's my only credits, yeah.
Yeah.
And this,
He's been on Kill Tony.
Liars Club.
And
Oh, you've been
now
on
the
Kill
Liars
Tony?
Club.
Yeah, but that's not a good credit to list. Everybody's like, credit Kill Tony appearances? An open mic that anybody can get into? That's a good credit. That's a good credit.
Well, I was impressed.
And this other gentleman here, he is a stand-up comic. He's having kind of a bad day, so I'm hopefully we can
Just trying to forget about it, but
hopefully we can shine some light there. He's opened up for so many comics: Dane Cook, Jamie Kennedy, Nick Swartzen, and many more. You may remember him from ABC's Fab Life.
oh man,
He also had his own podcast for a while dealing with truth and lies, but he gave that up because we overtook him.
I never did it. Before I got started, she was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah.
He recently shot a pilot called Friend Zone. This is Vinny Fasline.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Vinny.
Thanks, guys. Hey, what's that?
Right on, right on. So, really, anyone can get on Kill Tony? You have to stand
basically
in
an
line,
open mic,
though,
yeah.
right? You have to stand in
Put
line,
your name in a
right?
bucket.
Oh, you have to put your
Dude.
name in a bucket.
Yeah.
You did the.
That's why it's not a credit.
Oh man, I went to high school with Tony.
You did?
Fuck, dude.
Really? Same year?
No, he was
Ohio?
a couple years. Yeah, he went to dance with my sister. Yeah, I've known him since he was a kid.
Oh, really?
He's the one that got me in here. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it like knowing young Tony?
Was he
Oh.
older than you?
Couple years.
Yeah.
Just a few though.
Yeah. What was he like in high school?
Just a skinny wrestler and just silly and high energy and
Did you get way more ass than he did?
I mean, I fucking hope not. I was only like 8, 9 when I knew him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I know.
Maybe.
By the way, this is me and Jessica early this afternoon. Jessica, maybe we should try to be a little bit cleaner on the podcast. She's like, no.
Please, no clean podcast for me.
Yeah, my stories would be fucked if this was clean. They're both bad. They're both pretty gross.
Oh, nice. All right. So what we're gonna do? Because I'm like, this is the truth. I'm like, Jessica, we would need to get. We want to get like celebrities too, like big celebrities. But when people see that we're doing these stories about getting shitting ourselves,
We had
and
Bobby
all
Lee.
this. I know.
It's okay
Now
to
we
be a
got
little
Trey
dirty.
Thompson.
I
Kill
think
Tony.
You were on that.
He's from a city
Hilarious.
called Kansas City.
By the way, she goes, "Yeah, we got to get celebrities here, but instead we got these assholes." I go, "Jesus Christ!"
As soon
All
as
right.
I thought that and I was about to say it, I was like, oh, here
Yeah,
we
well, I'll
go.
call you out
That
for
was
it.
the
That's
pause. That was the pause. All right,
that's
so
all right.
yay, we're off to the races. So this is how we're going to do it. So like you're going to start and then you're going to do a story and then you're going to do a story.
We got to do a few more things, though.
Yeah, and then we're going to discuss everything.
Is
so.
it story?
That's exactly right. And then we do play along live for everybody that's listening as a audio podcast. We do play along live every Monday at 4:30 and every Friday at 8:30 from the Comedy Store's YouTube. If you ever wanted to come and play live with us and judge who's lying and who's not, please do. And I would like to also introduce our on-air producer, Austin Walker, right here. He will be fielding questions, as you guys know. Thank you, by the way, for
Hey,
tuning
Austin.
in.
Woo, that's
Yeah,
me.
that's
My man.
him.
Never
And-
done Kill Tony.
Was
so.
just watching
yeah,
the Joker.
I know.
No, but he's from Florida.
Yeah.
Go Gators, baby.
And then we have working the booth is Mr. Michael Evans. He's switching the cameras around. Put
Yay,
yourself on
hi.
camera. Wave.
I'm
there
on
you
camera.
go.
Can we hear me?
Yay,
Hi.
Yes, he's
Hey.
there. So that's kind of how it works. And by the way, did you guys know that this podcast is brought to you by Blue Apron?
You got a sponsor.
Yeah, we have a sponsor.
Dude, that's fucking
we have
awesome.
A sponsor, yeah.
Heck yeah.
And so
Am I allowed to say fuck on this podcast?
You can say
Fuck
whatever
yeah,
you
dude.
want. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I hope there's a variety of
Fucking
diarrhea
slap
stories.
the pussy, you know what I mean?
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So there you go. Blue Apron, if you ever wanted to try a food delivery service, give Blue Apron a try. They also deliver wine. They do nice pairings. And if you go to the code box and you put in liars, you'll get either $30 off or 30%. We lost the email.
Not sure.
That's awesome.
So
I've
why don't you give it a
done
try?
Blue Apron.
You have?
Yeah, and I like them.
Oh, you do?
Can I get a sponsorship?
Yeah.
No, Blue Apron's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
it is
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know how to cook, it's like pretty
right,
it's pretty simple.
right.
Yeah.
Did you get it like twice a week, or did you get it like?
No, I did like a little trial thing
Uh-huh.
or whatever, where I just got a
Right.
couple of them.
It's hard when you're a comedian because you're out of town so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, the
That's-
thing,
that's
yeah.
what's difficult
I was
about
just
it.
traveling.
Yeah. All right, so let's start the podcast, and it's since.
Does it matter what story starts first, or?
No, you don't let
Well,
us
don't
know.
tell
'cause-
us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna give it away. I'll start with my the mushroom story.
Should I start with the lie? All right, here it is. Try to guess.
But no, this is the first time I took mushrooms.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 27, so this was I think I was probably 24. I can't remember. I was pretty fucked up on mushrooms.
Yeah, that look just looks so fake, dude. But go ahead.
Okay.
Do you guys do this while we tell the story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes we'll ask
Yeah,
questions if we're not
she told me before we
understanding.
started. I was like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna grill me while I'm telling
Yes,
the story."
Good
yes.
thing I've had
And don't-
anxiety all day.
and don't crack under the pressure till the end when we ask you.
But when I did mushrooms,
I mean, I'm not.
When we ask you.
When we give you permission to speak your truth. Okay, sorry.
but a lot of people do it like with other people because they say do it with people so that we don't freak out or
Uh-huh.
get messed up. I did it by myself because I was like, I know what not to expect, but like I know that if I start freaking out, it's just the mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
So I did it by myself. It was just me and my dog. And
The dog was not doing the mushrooms.
No,
Okay.
God no.
What kind of dog?
Little Boston Terrier,
Oh,
Betsy. Shout out Betsy.
Yeah.
She's listening
Poor
right
Betsy
now.
had
She
to
loves
watch
the
you
show.
trip.
Yeah, she probably. I mean, she's watched me do like way worse things, but we'll get to the second story. But whenever I did, they said that I did listen to Ari Shafir, and I read his little. I can't remember what he called it. A shroom primer, of like what to do if you have never done shrooms before.
Oh, okay.
So I read it. And
This is already fucked up. Your guru is fucking Ari Shafir.
dude. Listen,
This is your.
Did you ever see that
If you
video of Ari smoking, like, is it some weird
salvia.
salvia? Did you
Yes.
ever, oh, my God.
Mm.
I almost had a panic attack watching him do it. It was so
Did
crazy.
he have a panic attack?
No, he loved it. And I said to him, I almost had a panic attack watching you do that. And he was like, why? Why would you have a panic attack? And I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have talked to Ari. You know what I mean? Like,
But
he
this
doesn't
is
get
your
it.
spiritual leader to like that you're gonna lead
No.
you through this trip of mushrooms.
Kinda. I'm a huge fan of his, which is I guess.
I mean, I like Ari, but I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
for sure.
Bad timing thing to
He's
say right
not
now.
my-
But if you listen to my podcast, you could tell it's like, oh, he listens to a lot of Skeptic Tank because it's like
Okay.
the same style, where it's just like two people talking in two microphones. But I bought an eighth of mushrooms, which I didn't know, 3.5 grams. I didn't know how much to do, and he told me just get an eighth. Or my buddy who I got them from told me to do an eighth, and I started with half of it. So I took 1.7 grams, and then I was like, okay. An hour goes by, and I felt drunk, and I didn't drink anything. And I was like, this is cool. I feel drunk, but I wanted a trip, and I don't want to sober up tomorrow and then have 1.7 grams
left.
and then only just get drunk again. I wanted a trip. So an hour goes by, and then I take the rest of it, and then I call my buddy who I got them from.
What can you say his first name?
Steve.
Whatever, dude.
Oh, no,
Okay.
actually, to be-
you had us till then.
No,
You
I
had-
swear. No, I swear.
okay.
No, to be completely honest, his name is Black Van Steve. But I didn't want to give it away that he was giving me mushrooms because it's still illegal. But he said, dude, if you took half of them an hour ago, those haven't kicked in yet. So, like, I know you feel drunk, but they haven't kicked in. So I'm like, okay. And then the thing that happened whenever I tripped, it wasn't what I expected. Where it looked like.
But he's the one that told you to take an eighth, though, not a, right?
I know I read the eighth on Ari's website,
Okay.
but he sold me an eighth because that's what I was like. Okay,
Okay.
$40 or whatever.
Mhm.
And then I got an eighth. But I took all of it, and then about an hour after that, I didn't like trip like I thought I was going to, but it looked like somebody put an Instagram filter over my eyes, like a yellow. Everything was yellow, like I was wearing yellow sunglasses. And then slowly everything started moving in
Kind
together.
of like the anti-glare glasses I got Michael for Christmas.
I was just gonna say my night drivers. I can relate. Yeah.
Dude, that's the gist of the trip. But Ari says in the primer, he says, you need to have sex on mushrooms
Uh-huh.
or jerk off.
Uh-huh.
So I was jerking off.
So yeah,
And
That's so funny.
I should turn this into a bit. Normally,
So
normally
you-
I'm a what?
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was thinking about the punch for that. Really.
No, say it.
I
Yeah.
was just saying that's funny. You build it up to where you're like, so of course I was jerking off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But,
that's how you do it.
Where was I? Oh.
Jerking off.
Normally,
you were jerking
that's
off.
what I was saying. It was normally I'm a quick guy.
When you jerk off, you're
Yeah,
normally a quick
quick.
guy.
Quick. Don't even need to. I don't use lube because
Whoa.
it adds to the cleanup.
How quick do you think you are?
If I'm in the mood, if I need to get it out,
Uh-huh.
like I can go 25, 30 seconds. If I got the right thought, quick.
Really?
If not, 2 minutes.
Dude.
Easy 2 minutes.
Thanks, man. I'm hard right now.
Easy 2 minutes.
Clean podcast. Go ahead.
Well, no. Jessica gave me the look of death, so I was like, well, here we go.
how old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was
Because it's important to the story.
I was a senior in high school, so I was
That's amazing.
I was 18, turning 19 like 3 months later.
Okay.
I was a senior in high school, so the girlfriend I had at the time.
Yeah.
But now where was I?
you were
Jerking
jerking
off
off.
on shrooms.
Yeah, not having sex with a woman.
Do my stories have to be this long?
No.
It's not that it's
Only
long.
if
I'm
you're
just
talking
I'm
about
just
jerking
scared
off.
because neither of my true or a lie are long.
No, that's
That's
perfect.
great.
Okay.
It's a game because this is a podcast.
Now
but
you're
it's
making me
also a game.
self-conscious that mine's too long.
No, it's perfect.
No, I was self-conscious. That's why I asked.
But okay, I'm jerking off on mushrooms, and then I don't use lube because it adds to the cleanup. You already have to clean up the
Right. You're a minimalist.
exclamation point.
Right? Exclamation.
So I don't want to like.
Hey, Mom, you could tune out at this. You want to sign off? You're
Dude, my mom shared this on her Facebook, and she's like, "I'm gonna be at work, so I can't watch it." But I'm like, "Good," because I have to tell these two stories.
Oh no.
But
So I mean,
No, I
I'm
feel
just
bad.
gonna say, like when you do release, you're pretty good about where it goes.
normally when I'm not fucked up on mushrooms,
Okay.
that's because you have to clean it up. I'm not just gonna throw it somewhere.
I mean, some are
Right.
But
spellers.
So
I think it was because I was so fucked up. But I started, and then I literally 20 minutes, 30 minutes goes by, and I'm not anywhere close. I'm rock hard,
okay.
having a great
Right,
time.
Right.
but nowhere close to finishing.
Okay.
So I break out lube like for special occasions.
Yeah,
Right.
go on.
20 minutes later?
Yeah.
Jesus
Dude.
Christ. You could have
I
fucking
was
lit a
fucked up on
campfire.
mushrooms. It was bad. And then
Wow.
I started with the special occasion lube,
Uh-huh.
and then again 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by and nothing happens.
Are you watching
Right.
porn or anything?
Yeah, but I'm too fucked up to watch porn. So I'm just like, God, I wish
It's
I
all
could.
yellow porn.
I'm glad there's no picture of it, but the way I did it was I didn't just like lay on a bed. It was stood over my bed, butt naked, and then I just like laid a towel on the bed. So like if I were to pop,
Right.
hopefully it lands on the towel.
Okay, I see your
Right.
what you're doing there.
It's better that than pop on yourself and then use the towel to clean it off.
I was
Why?
just thinking
Pop on the
how
towel.
you were saying that it was so easy to get on Kill Tony, and then as you're telling a story, I'm like, it's really easy for people to get on this podcast. Like, this is such a fucking
Dude.
stupid ass story that we're fucking trying to bust, that it's a lie. Like, and he's just like, yeah, then I laid the towel down, and we're like, was it him? Was it a bathtub? Was it
Yeah, you guys are roasting. Dude, this is
You know
Friars Club right here.
Fuck, dude. I was just like, what have we
yeah, was it a
become?
washcloth or was it a hand
Yeah, I was thinking, what
towel?
podcast did I fucking come on right
I
now?
know.
No, I'm kidding.
All right,
We enjoy
so-
it, buddy.
All right, so you rubbed it down to a nub. You're in front of the towel.
Rubbed it down to a nub.
You're in the front
Keep
of the
going
towel.
so I can keep
no.
rubbing down to a nub. Let's go.
This is
Fuck.
this is where it gets weird. This is where it's like the
Oh, where it gets weird.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm going to go get a
Am I
drink.
on mushrooms right now? Like, it's already
Like it's
weird.
not weird. Like I'm following my leader Ari Shafir and I'm masturbating on shrooms.
I know.
And it gets weirder.
Okay.
But no, we're at like a total of like 45 minutes of jerking off. And
Yes, okay.
I get frustrated and I just stop and I'm all fucked up and I'm like butt naked and I just stare at my dick. And that's whenever like the weirdest thing happened to me to this day is I felt a rumble like under, and then I just without touching my dick came a single drop of cum. And I don't know what else it would be.
This motherfucker better be true.
I
This
swear
is
to
like
God.
the one tear in a movie.
No, I swear to, it was a tear, dude. And
my God.
and I had to
Jesus.
I didn't know if I was fucked up and I was hallucinating it. I hit the carpet. I reached down and picked it up off the carpet and did one of these moves to make sure that it was.
What's wrong with you?
It's-
What
this
the
is-
fuck is wrong with you?
This is only for cum and snot. That's the only time you do this move.
Oh, okay.
But that happened, and then I went, okay, if I can come with no hands, I've got to be close. So
this is still the story?
yeah.
This is like...
Well, it's about to end. It's
Okay.
coming soon. I thought if I came with no hands, I got to be close.
Right.
So I went right back at it.
Any of my fans following, if you I'll get you I'm gonna get to my story soon. I promise.
I know.
Should we have started with mine? or-
Mine's all about a finger up my ass.
We've had
Not as
those.
dirty.
We've had those before.
Oh God!
All right,
You guys don't even know how this goes. This gets worse. After I got frustrated and that phantom cum drop, I finally felt that point of no return feeling whenever you're having sex or jerking off, and then 4 seconds later I started pissing all over my bed. I couldn't tell between the two feelings if it was going to be pee or cum. I thought I was about to cum, and then I started pissing.
So are you single is the question.
Oh, for sure. And found out.
We can hear Michael laughing in the
This story was going to die
keeps
with me.
getting wild.
I wasn't going to tell anybody the story. The story was going to
Wow.
die with me, but I needed
So
the
you
story.
This is a good way to start the fucking LA move right here.
Were you a gentleman enough to piss all over the towel?
Oh yeah, maybe, but it's piss, so it went everywhere. And then
Right.
I have a boner, so I can't usually pinch off the pee.
Oh, God,
I
Jesus.
can't pinch the pee. So I pinch my boner, and it's still pissing everywhere.
It's such karma that today I said we should be cleaner. It's like God is like, nope.
A lot of dick jokes going
But
on
then
here.
that's where the story ends. Is I ended up pissing all over the bed, and
Okay.
then got into the bathroom,
Okay.
and then the rest of it was just me trying to go to sleep.
Okay.
And then
All right.
yeah, that's,
Okay.
that's my first story.
Okay.
What a trip, dude.
You know what? I mean, he killed it, guys. If you want me to take off, I gotta.
Okay. Well, what are people saying online, Austin?
Well, Raver
Well, they all
Bastard,
tuned
People
out.
are watching this.
Raver
Yeah.
Bastard, he joined us late, and he said, "What did I just walk into?"
I know.
Ken says this is not a mushroom trip he's describing. This is a lie. Jason Marino prefers making shroom tea. G, the entity, says this feels sincere, as odd as he may be. And G is currently upstairs smoking a J, so he is tuned in right now. Kia thinks so far this sounds true. So
Oh, God.
everybody's into the story.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. There
Think
you
it's
go.
true.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it did have a lot of details.
Well, our gentlemen
Yeah.
callers seem to like it.
Our gentlemen callers concur.
Listen, mine's not as it's not as elegant, but
It's not as clean.
it's
not
a
as
lot
clean as that
shorter. I have two
Okay.
short
Okay.
stories.
All right.
No, we like them short.
My bad.
Okay.
No. This is fun.
That's great.
All right. Okay, first story.
Starting off with
What
I'm
the
trying
fuck?
to debate which one I should go with.
You want to
Look at me
go
in the
warm your
eyes.
voice up
Both of you guys look at
outside
me in
the
the eyes.
booth or something?
I ain't scared to tell you a truth or
Okay.
a lie.
All right. All right.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm trying to debate where I'm going.
Okay.
I'm flipping a coin in my head. And both of them are going to be college stories. So the truth or the lie, I don't remember much of either of them. Okay, so the first story is when I was in college, I remember I was sleeping. I get a call in the middle of the night, and my buddy hits me up. He's like, dude, your car's on fire. I was
What?
like, yeah, he hits me up. He's like, dude, your car's on fire. I was like, what? He's like, dude, your car, it's on fire in the parking lot. I go, what the fuck? I hang up. I run to the parking lot because it was an apartment building at the time. And I go out there, and there's a parking lot, and it's filled with cars. There's like 12 cars. All of them are on fire, including mine, which was a Chevrolet Cavalier. And
so yours probably started it.
yeah, well, I mean, the guy that lit it on fire, I go, I don't blame you. So anyways, I'm standing there. I'm in shock. There's a bunch of us. There's like people outside. We're all staring at this parking lot. It's in flames. Of cars are just in flames. And we're all just like, what the fuck? And at first I was like, I was worried and upset. But then I was also
Where
like,
were you? Where were you? Where did you go to school?
I went to school. It's called IUP, which is in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it's Indiana. It's a town in Pennsylvania. So it's actually a small town. 2,000 people live there. 15,000 go to school there. They actually might make it Division 1,
Oh,
but
wow.
right now it's currently Division 2. Big party school, but good marketing. It had a good marketing department. It was like top 50 in the country. So I was like, fuck it. And it was a good party school. So a lot of people partied there. Because it's in the middle of nowhere. So there's nothing, people are just partying. So anyways, I'm watching this parking lot. It's on fire. And then I get excited because I hated that car. And I'm like, fuck yeah. You know, I was excited. This is me being excited.
Like an insurance policy on it? Or?
So that was the thing thanks for killing the bunch. But I was excited thinking I'm going to get a new car. Next morning I wake up. I find out I have liability insurance.
Oh.
You didn't have gap insurance?
Gap. What's gap?
Gap, like whenever you buy the car, in case you total the car and you owe more than it's worth.
I had liability, which was basically
you paid for the guy that burned to death.
You can completely destroy somebody's car and they'll pay for it, but yours is on you. And I switched it because I just didn't have money. So, anyways, I didn't really like think about it or realize it until the next morning. And then I found out. I called the insurance company, but I was all celebrating, like, fuck yeah. I was thinking about what cars I'm going to buy. Like, what am I going to buy? I was looking up cars.
What check are you going to get for a Chevy Cavalier? You're going to get like a $1,300 check?
I mean, either way, I wasn't going to get for what it was. Like, I mean, back then it probably was a little bit nicer. You know? I mean, I was in college 10 years ago, you know? Even though I dress like I'm 12. But I was in college 10 years ago, so I you know, back then I was like, fuck it. I mean, I could get a Toyota or some shit. I don't know.
Right.
And then find out I have liability insurance. I had no car, so I had to borrow my mom's car at times, and yeah, that's it, baby.
So your car was paid off.
No, I never liability. I never had any money.
Was your car paid off? Were you still making payments on the car?
I mean, no, I didn't. Yeah, it was
What
paid
color
off.
was the car?
It was black.
Yeah. Was it a
do you
two-door or
say it like
four-door?
that?
I don't know.
Because she's testing me, and I'm gonna give her the answers.
Yeah, I know.
I'll give you every answer you want, babe. Come at
What
me.
was the interior like?
It was shitty.
Yeah, but what color was it like?
It was black. It was like
It was black on
It
black.
was just it was fabric.
And so who started the fire? Did they ever find out?
Never found out who started the fire.
Were all the cars in a row?
The fire.
There was there was a bunch of cars. There was a bunch of cars on like just a parking lot like this. So there's a bunch of cars here and a bunch of cars here.
And did they ever find out what kind of accelerant was used?
Accelerant.
Ooh,
Yeah, like
yes.
did they
Flammable.
use
Gasoline.
gasoline? Okay.
Yes. Gasoline.
And where was your car parked in the position of the 12? Was it towards the middle?
Jesus Christ! What are you, a fucking attorney? Where was it parked? I don't remember. I think of the two sides, it was parked. Actually, no. It was right here.
What is the thing you
So if
hated
I'm looking-
most about that
Hey, my car
car?
was parked right here.
What did I hate
Right in
most
my
about that
soul.
car?
Like the thing that you were like, this fucking car. I'm glad it's burned down. Like what was the main reason?
Well, I had when I had the car, I paid money to have it fixed up. Like I had like cool white rims on it, which was dorky.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
judge
No,
me.
no, no, I had rims, dude, on my Honda
Dude,
Civic.
don't judge me.
Don't
that's
even.
right. You're not making him feel better, Jessica.
I know. All right. It's called the Anxiety Podcast.
Well, does anybody online have anything to say that they would like to add there, Austin?
G the Entity says, "Can we get that finger in the butt story, please?" Hostetter said that car had too much power for little Vinny anyway.
Oh, yeah, baby. Who said that?
That was Hostetter.
Come
No,
on.
he hasn't been there in a while.
Yeah, welcome back, Hostetter. Fardis is on the fence with this one, but he says it sounds like over detail, so might be leaning
I
towards
love it, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Michael Evans, what do you think?
Vinny, tell me about the friend that called you in the middle of the night.
Who's that?
I honestly don't remember.
You don't remember at all.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
you
remember
who
specific.
called to tell you your car is on fire.
I don't.
Were you drunk? You said in the beginning. You said both of these stories I hardly remember. Were you like drunk, sleeping when he called, or is it just you don't remember because you were sleeping?
I was definitely I was sleeping. Maybe I was drunk. I don't know. It was college, probably.
I don't know. I'm smelling lies on this one.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right.
Come at me, bro.
Well, this is a game, and sometimes a short, boring story is how you win the game.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
I'm totally kidding.
I have the details lined up.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
The short, boring story. Wow. Love the welcome.
No, I'm excited. All right, so your second story. Can't
this takes
wait.
place-
You guys, let me say something to you. Let me say something to you. Everybody, before you tune out, Listen to my next fucking story before you make any judgments. Also, give him a second chance. All right, let's go.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
This next one's about when he was fucking your grandma in the ass.
Takes place
Usually
in
I'm really
elementary
quick when
school.
I fuck a grandma in
Thank
her
you, Blue
asshole.
Apron, for sponsoring.
Take back dinner.
But no,
That's
this one.
such a good tag for everything, isn't it?
Take back dinner.
Love it.
Dude,
yeah.
Tebow got me addicted to We'll Be Right Back after these messages.
Oh, he does it all the fucking
Oh
Too
my
much,
God,
too
it's
much.
so funny. I
Tim
mean,
Tebow?
literally, you could do it anywhere during any situation.
Someone
Yeah.
say Tim Tebow.
Yeah, dude. He's the reason I'm
Thanks for
Gators,
giggling. I
baby.
appreciate it.
That's his boy, yeah.
Tim Tebow, bro. Pray.
Oh, I really thought you were talking about Jason Tebow.
That's
Yeah, I was.
what we were.
Okay.
He's the one that.
I was just making
All
a
right,
little
let's get to
silly.
that
Yeah,
story.
let's get to that.
Let's get
You're
to
right.
the story.
You're right.
I was driving to Nashville for a Kill Tony. This was gonna be my
Oh fuck, dude! You drove to do one of those?
and
He's a Kill Tony groupie.
even worse. This was the first Kill Tony I
You're a
went to.
Kill
This,
Tony groupie?
this was the first Kill Tony I went to, and
How
this was
many Kill Tonys have you been to?
Nashville, Houston.
All right, I'm going to text Tony, tell him he's got a
Houston again.
stalker.
I know. Fuck, dude.
Dude, he's got a psycho fan.
I met Tony in at Stanford and Sons. Shout out Stanford and Sons. Not,
Okay.
not a club anymore,
Yeah.
but
That was such a great club.
he's the one that got me to start comedy. I told him I did comedy a couple times when I was 19, and he's like, "You need to restart." And then I started, and I wanted to be my first time on Kill Tony, so I drove to Nashville and didn't get pulled. And he said us at the end of the episode, like, "Oh, hey, shout out to my friend who didn't get pulled. Trey Thompson drove from Kansas City, didn't even get pulled out of the bucket." But it was good because I drove back.
This is what Tony's creating.
Well, I
Yeah.
drove. It was good because I drove back so pissed off
Uh-huh.
that I wasn't gonna wait to get on Kill Tony. I went straight to an open mic and I started getting up
Oh, okay.
because I wanted it to be on Kill Tony, so I was waiting. A lot of people are doing that. I've talked to a lot of people who were like, "I'm fans of Kill Tony. I wanted it to be on Kill Tony,"
No.
which is not a good thing because then it's recorded. You got to get all the crappy
Right.
ones out of the way. But
It's true.
I was also not good enough friends with Tony to like hang out with him afterwards. So after
Nobody is. Don't worry.
so after the after Kill Tony, I smoked a joint with them, and then they left. So I was kind of hanging around, and I hung out at the bar. And this was 6 months after I got out of like a 5-year relationship. The girl I lost my virginity to. So this is like the first time I've tried to pick up a girl.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, insane. But
Where's the masturbating on mushrooms story fall in the timeline? Of
this is 2016. Mushroom Story was 2017.
Okay.
So it's like
Okay.
kind of relatively the same
Okay.
time. But where are we at? Oh, it was the first time I used a line on a woman that worked,
Uh-huh.
and because
Well-
I knew the line. Whenever you ask for a woman's number,
Uh-huh.
the main it's like I just got out of the sales job too, so it's like I think of it like sales. The first objection they're going to give you is I have a boyfriend. So the first thing I thought of at the bar, never asked a girl out before.
If you ever need any help with your computer, just give me your number and I'll help you. Is that
No,
what he said?
it was 2 questions, 2 birds with one stone.
You need to dust your ceiling fan. I'm there for you.
Good tall joke. I don't hear a lot of good tall jokes. That was a good one. Usually it's how's the weather up there. It's same as down there. But it's 2 questions, 2 birds with one stone. I say, do you have a boyfriend or anybody that would kick my ass if I tried to get your number? And I asked it to this lady and it worked. She was like, she said, first, that's the best way someone's ever asked for my number.
And when you talk about somebody you're trying to get, hook up with, you call her that lady.
Well, I don't want to give her name out.
I know, but it just seems weird instead of saying
You
he's
gave
young
out
too.
Steve's name pretty easy. He's slinging drugs.
Why wouldn't you say like this girl?
This
Right.
chick's gonna be way more disappointed with what she did. But
I was just thinking if this story is the lie and if this story is the truth and then the first story is a lie, and he described that whole masturbation thing as the lie, how fucked up is that? How fucked up is that?
Early comic dick jokes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think that he probably does masturbate like that.
Right.
Maybe he just
on
wasn't
shrooms
the
every
reg.
time.
I feel like I didn't hear. I feel like I didn't hear enough of that masturbation story. If you could recap,
Let's revisit it.
getting a little horny over here.
But to make this one not so long, is,
Okay.
I get her number and I think like, oh my god, I got her number. I'm gonna like keep in contact. But then it starts escalating very quickly, where it's like we might hook up tonight. I thought we were gonna hook up in the parking lot, and then as we're like, she did this. It was really smart, but really sleazy. Was she didn't let me know anything that was different, or I'm trying to think how to word this. She didn't let me know the situation that was gonna happen until after we started like making out. So like we're making out in the
What
car.
do you mean by that?
Like we're making out in the car. So I think, okay, we're hooking up.
Right.
And then she's like, wait, this is usually like, wait, I have herpes. So it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, you just waited. You waited till I was
Oh,
already.
she told you that?
No, but it's,
Okay.
this is the same situation.
Okay.
Where she says, actually, I don't have a boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
I have a husband.
Uh-huh.
And then she started telling this thing about how we're into bringing people home. So I was
Okay.
like, is this going to be a threesome situation? Because I'm not
Uh-huh.
into like I guess I would be, but I'm like, this is also
I
like.
guess you're a good
Right.
compromise if they were looking to get another woman in the bed.
Well, and also I'm like, I'm
I was just thinking, this is the story that he flashes on to jerk off in 25 seconds.
You guys have the best laughs ever. Like, seriously. If you could just follow me around in my daily life when I'm depressed, that'd be fucking awesome. It's the laughter is... I look at the camera. This is not normal. Guys, their laughter is so joyful.
We're sad that you're not laughing because that's so
I
funny.
am laughing. I'm enjoying. I'm taking the moments in.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
enjoying. I'm
Okay.
I'm observer.
That's like a
I
Patrice
observe.
O'Neill joke. It says, I don't have sex to have sex. I have sex so I could jerk off to it later. It's something like that. I probably just butchered his joke, but
Okay.
where are we?
Robert
at?
Kelly was just talking about that on his podcast where you could VR a porn scene. Like you do your own porn scene and you VR it and you get to like experience it, but then it also tapes it. So like it's a VR recording so you can go back and relive it over and over.
Oh, the memory.
Wait, you
Or
could,
like-
wait, VR yourself having sex?
Right. So you're having sex with somebody and so you want to
Oh.
remember it
Okay.
forever.
Ugh, I don't want to
You
see
like
myself.
video VR it
Uh-huh.
and then you can relive it over and over and over and over and over again.
Ew, but you have to see yourself having
Yeah,
sex?
that would ruin the
Gross.
memory.
Turn me off.
How many cameras
Gross.
are VRing it? Is there a lot of
I watch
cameras?
porn to
I think
escape
I
my
don't know. I
body.
think it's you both put the hoods on or whatever.
Okay. All right, so continue your story. We're sorry.
You're getting a lot of stage time here, bud. We got a light in here? I was kidding.
That's why I'm trying to make this one quick. But so I'm thinking it's a threesome situation, and it's not. She's like, no, he just wants to watch. I'm like, okay. So now I'm like on the way there. I'm like mentally preparing myself for this. Like, I'm gonna have to fuck around.
Meow.
Yeah, Kill Tony meow. That's that's the light
Nobody
on
gets
Kill
it.
Tony.
Sorry.
I got
Oh,
it. That was a
really?
good one.
Oh,
That was
Yeah.
a good one. But I guess long story
was like,
longer.
I have not been
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
attention to the story. That's what I thought was going on. Like, oh, fuck, I
Well,
zoned out.
What's the creepy part is I get there
Uh-huh.
and like he's sitting in a chair kind of across the room,
Okay.
and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna start jerking off. And that was the weirdest part about the story was I asked, like, I kind of did that thing where you kind of make conversation. That's not the time to make conversation.
Uh-huh.
Because then she starts like kind of undoing my belt. She's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, okay, we're just gonna get straight to it. And I go, the next thing I thought of was like, okay, I'm saying stupid shit. What do I say now that's important? So I said, are there any rules? Like, I thought that's a good question to ask.
That's a solid question.
And he offered me water.
Jessica.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I've never done this before, so I have to ask what the rules are.
Like, Jessica took a mental note there. Like, I should ask that the next time.
Another significant point in the story, which I'm glad I did, he offered me a water when I walked in, and I declined
Yeah.
because I'm not
Well,
going to take a drink.
That's an average. Oh, whoa.
From,
Okay.
I don't know if they're trying
Fair
to drug
enough,
me
fair
or
enough.
it's the first thing that went through my head.
All right.
And another thing is, while she started blowing me, and that's actually one of the rules.
Uh-huh.
The rule was, you do whatever you want, just don't insert your fingers in me at all. It's just gonna be like a blowjob.
Oh, really? You could kiss her?
I don't want to kiss her, but he was just saying like, don't finger me, don't put your fingers inside me.
Oh, he
That-
said it, not she.
She said it.
She said it.
He didn't say hardly anything except for he offered me a water. Didn't say shit.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to start jerking off while she started blowing me.
Uh-huh.
Even creepier, didn't. He sat there with his legs crossed and just watched.
Is this podcast always dirty? Or?
This is the cleaner story.
This guy's the freakiest one of them all,
I know.
sitting over there.
I'm going to go home and jerk off.
All right.
The thing
I'm
that
going to go
kinda-
home and jerk off to his Instagram.
to both my stories. But the thing that threw me off was normally when someone's blowing you, they focus on you. She was focusing
Oh
on,
my God.
She was focusing on him.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the thrill of him
Yeah.
watching her give another guy a blowjob.
My
Get on board,
my
buddy.
next story is about church.
All right.
Two
So,
two quick things and the story's over.
Okay.
Is it takes me longer to pop because I'm nervous, and then also I thought before I pop, I need to keep an eye on him.
You say pop a lot. You've
Yeah.
I don't wanna say
were you
cum.
were you production? You were a porn producer.
Yeah, no. Wait, why were you gonna pop right away?
Yeah,
while she's
is
giving
that
you a
Kansas
blowjob?
City talk? Is
Well,
that
'cause
Kansas
You watched
City
a lot of
talk?
HBO Real Sex, didn't you?
Weren't you trying to save it?
I was like, you
Well,
about
no.
to take this? I'm ready to pop. And it just very simple too. It's very simple.
But I'm wondering, Like you're just gonna come in her mouth? You didn't think you were gonna have sex? You didn't want to wait, or you thought
that's
you,
what I
you
thought
could
was
get
gonna
it up
happen. And then
again?
she said, "No, this is a blowjob thing." So I was like, "Okay." And then
Oh, that was a rule.
yeah, it was one of the rules. And then
Do you think they were like earlier in the night? They were like, "Yeah, what do you want to do? I don't know. Maybe I'll go and find a giant."
dude, that's what pissed me. I was like, "Oh my god, this chick took my number because she's attracted to me." Now I thought they probably picked me out because I look fucking weird. They're like, "Yeah, the weirder the better."
They're probably
because
you look tall.
I don't know what it was.
You know, first of all, people that are sexual are not freaks.
Well, people that want you to get blown by their wife.
Speak for yourself.
I know.
I go home
my
and put on a
God.
mask, and then I said,
my
"Sick me off."
All right, so is that the story?
No, and then it ends with
She's like, "Please wrap it up for the love of
That's what I'm
God."
saying. I'm trying to get to that. There's two more things because it stands out with. It takes me forever to pop.
Okay, yes,
Have to
we've
focus on
established
him,
that. Yes,
Because
yes,
I don't
we've
want him
established
to
that.
like bash me over the head.
Right.
So then after I come on her face, which is one of
Shut
the rules. I swear to God.
Fuck up,
I swear to God.
God.
This is one of the rules. They both get up. They
Uh-huh.
both go to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And right before she shuts the door, she says, "Lock the bottom lock on your way out," and then shuts the door. And I got butt naked. Shouldn't have got butt naked for a blowjob. Had to gather all my clothes, get on, and left. Haven't seen her since. Haven't talked to her. Never got a number. Well, got the number, but
you
then
took all your clothes. Did they take all their clothes off?
no. That's the weirdest part. I prepared him to jerk off. I was prepared for him to do that. And then he just sat there with his fucking legs crossed, just watching.
Right.
That's why I thought he was going to murder me.
Right.
I don't believe anything you say. To
I
be
know.
honest with you.
I know.
Do you have any semi-clean stories?
Yeah, I believe
Do you
the
have
Ari
anything that's-
Shafir one now. Yeah, I believe that. I believe you
We love it.
sat in the dark and masturbated for God knows how long on mushrooms per the instructions of Ari Shafir.
Dude, you're a fucking freak, bro. I don't even want to look at your porn history. I don't want to
You're
fucking
probably
look.
gonna take a knife out and stab us all right fucking now. That's
All right,
how
Jess,
creepy
don't
those
ask,
stories.
don't ask me to do your podcast again.
All right, so now it's your last story.
Oh, hold on. We got some
I think he
comments.
killed
on
it.
that.
Yeah, you gotta
We
say
got
it.
some
I think he
comments
killed
on
it.
Trey. Fartis thinks that Trey has a wedding ring waiting for Tony somewhere. And Kia said that this is some other Kill Tony's character story. I don't know if he knows that as a fact or if he's just guessing. And we got to say welcome to faithful listener Russell, who listens to the podcast, but this is his first time joining us
Oh,
live.
yay! Welcome.
He said that Jessica has an incredibly infectious laugh. It's the coronavirus of guffaws.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes.
Madison says this is 100% a lie. Doughboy thinks he's selling his lie. Jason Marino says I'm going first lie and second true for Biggins. So that's
For
where we're at
Biggins.
For
now.
So wait,
I feel like
he
Biggins
thinks
would
the
know.
shroom story's true?
He thinks the first story is a lie. The shroom story is a lie.
Okay.
Why do you think? Why do you
Trey-
think that first story is a lie, though? Why does he think that? That's so like. What is the reason for that?
He hasn't expanded. He just said that he's noticed that Vinny wants to leave so bad.
What are you doing?
I don't want to leave.
What's up? What was that about?
I thought somebody was looking through the window.
No.
What the fuck happened?
Are you melting down?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, there
Sorry, I
you
was just so worked up. I couldn't
All
take it. Needed some for sure.
go. All right, so go ahead.
What the fuck?
For sure.
For sure. For sure. Actually, Tony does have a getting a threesome blowjob story.
He does. With
But
the
let
two
me just say.
Southern women.
Let me just say. I can't tell. You were definitely more nervous on the first story. So I like to read
Well, I also
body
went
language.
first. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
I can't tell whether you were just nervous to do the podcast and do your first
Or you're
story,
nervous 'cause I'm
or it
lying.
was nervous because you're lying. It's very difficult to
Yeah.
tell. But you're definitely nervous the first story.
Well, then, but the first story, if he is lying, just the fact that he was like, and then I wasn't masturbating laying down, I was masturbating standing up, and then I
Yeah.
put the towel like I
The
laid
I
details-
think he's done.
I
that.
laid it, with, perpendicular.
The
to
story
then
is-
this, and then it
Part
was
of it's
like-
from truth, like all of it.
Yeah.
He's taking
Right.
whatever he's doing. He's
Uh-huh.
taking, and that makes sense. You take if you're gonna lie, you try
Uh-huh.
to take some truth
right.
and you put it in the stories.
Uh-huh. I like how you're mansplaining our podcast to us.
No, I know. I know.
Listen, ladies.
Let me tell you. No.
No, ladies.
We know you. I know you almost did 100 episodes so far.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little
Okay.
fun fact. As I play. Fun fact. I play a game. We do a game night. It's called Mafia.
Okay, I've played that game before. Yeah.
We used to play it for 3 years every Friday.
Yeah.
So we played it every single week for 3 years. A
Okay.
huge group of us, 30 of us. And it was
Uh-huh.
basically you just the
Was
game.
this at therapeutic boarding school?
It was just me in my bedroom crying.
Okay.
I was like, I love this game, Mafia. No. we thanks guys. Fucking delayed. I go, if nobody laughs at this, I'll kill myself.
Okay.
All right, so basically, yeah, the game is you just manipulate and you figure out who's lying and who's not.
Yeah.
So I like to, after doing this,
Uh-huh.
you kind of learn how to read people. So that being said, I don't
He's
know.
trying to reverse psychology.
No, I'm
But
serious.
that's part of the game, though. That's totally part
Part
of
of
the
the
game.
game.
Yeah,
No, but
because it's like you
also-
sit around a fireplace,
But
and
yes.
then someone
Also, but that's what I'm saying is I was trying to read him on both stories. I feel like both
Uh-huh.
of his stories have some part of truth. He probably jerks
Right,
off. He
right.
loves Tony. There's a
Uh-huh.
little bit of truth in both stories.
right.
Yeah.
You don't know which part's true and which one's not. So which
Right.
one's fabricated? I feel like he might have fabricated a little bit of both. Maybe
Uh-huh.
there's a couple lies in a few of them.
Uh-huh.
But which one's overwhelmingly true? I'm not sure yet. But I feel like you were definitely more nervous on this first story. Whether that's because you're on the podcast and it's your first story, I'm not sure. But you guys ready to fucking get confused? Because I'm going to hit you.
Okay, so
Yes.
is this a kill mafias?
Yeah, I thought we were talking
this-
about
Yeah.
mafia.
No,
Is
no,
this
no.
a-
No, I
He
was just
He was giving his
I just
credit.
since you got 20 minutes of stage time, I figured I'd get about 5.
He was
I
giving
guess
his.
I'll delete that recap then.
I know.
Get to the store. Get to your short
notes.
story.
Oh,
Jesus
sorry.
Christ! He did 20 minutes of jerking off. I get fucking 3.
We were captivated. You can't
been
go
doing
cross
comedy
that.
for
We
3
were
years.
captivated. Okay,
All
so
right.
go ahead.
My next story. Again, a college story. I did a little bit. I don't drink that much anymore. This is a rarity. I had a drink, 2 drinks.
Yeah, but you had 2 glasses you had to take away from here.
I just said 2. God damn it!
Let
You
him
call
please
me
get
out.
to the
Let me-
story before Mike Vargas goes to a comedy show.
How much time we got left? So, anyways, yeah, college. I did a little bit of drinking. My college, big party school. I mentioned that earlier.
Uh-huh.
So I remember, I remember one night.
UIP?
IUP.
IUP.
Which stood for Indiana University of Pennsylvania, which was not a branch of Indiana University. There's a town in Pennsylvania called Indiana, 2,000 people. Jimmy Stewart was from there, so there's actually a museum there. You can see the Jimmy Stewart museum, like,
Is this part of
statue.
your story?
I was just giving some fun
Okay.
facts.
Okay, get to the story.
Jeez, dude, he was talking about putting his fucking.
Hey, I stayed with the story every
Yeah,
time.
we
Though.
were
I didn't
captivated.
deviate.
Oh, did you?
I didn't deviate.
Oh, you didn't deviate? Oh, okay. He went from Tony Hinchcliffe to fucking jerking off. All right.
As I
Deviate.
I came on her face. All right, here we go. So, anyway, story is, so I'm partying. I'm at my buddy Bobby's. He has a 3-story. He lives in like a 3-story like duplex apartment building or whatever. Party gets a little bit wild, and I jump off the roof of his building. He had access to the roof of the building. I jump off the roof of the building. Everyone dared me. They were like, "Just fucking do it," and I'm like, "I'm drunk," you know. I just did it, and I jumped onto a tree, slid down the tree, burned my hands from the bark, but I didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt at all. I fucking survived. I was fine. I didn't break a bone.
How tall
The
was
only
the
thing
tree?
that
like how far was the drop?
it was the size of the house. So it was a 3-story house.
Three-story
So
house.
I mean, I didn't measure the tree. I forgot my measuring tape at home, but I saw the tree and I go, this is my way to survive off this
What
3-story
time
jump.
of year was this?
I don't. It was in the fall semester.
Yeah, so there are no leaves on the tree, or was it like a
It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty dead tree, deadish
Uh-huh.
tree.
Yeah.
But I figured, I don't know. Even in my drunken stupor, I go, this is my odds.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. They just said jump off the building. They didn't actually think I was gonna do it, but I did it, and I jumped onto the tree. I slid down the tree. I grabbed the tree, and I hurt myself only on my hands, but I didn't actually break any bones. I didn't do any. But you would think normally you guys have to rationalize the fact of jumping off a 3-story building is not very common, and people don't do it and not break a bone or survive. So I jumped off this building. I didn't break a bone. I did survive. Nothing serious happened. I hurt my hands, which was about it. Which, by the way, when you're drunk, you don't really feel too much of it. So I don't remember much of that. So following that, everyone's like, "Rah!" And all we did was my hands hurt a little bit. We took 2 40s and we duct taped them to my hands, which were cold.
Edward 40 hands.
Edward 40 hands. That's what it was. Edward 40 hands, and we duct taped them in my hands. Now that's what they call it.
Yeah, I've played a lot of Edward 40 hands.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm
that's
talking
a
about.
real thing.
I forgot that's what they call
And
it.
you can't unduct tape them until they're both done.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
My buddies
Oh
did
my
it with my
God.
buddies did it with 4 Locos.
Nice.
Edward 4 Loco hands.
oh,
Wow.
Jesus
They
Christ.
died that night.
You gotta make some new friends. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, yeah, duct tape my hands to 240s because they're like, it's cold and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't let them go until we drank them. And I drank them both. And I was fine. I woke up. I felt like fucking shit. I was in pain. My back hurt, blah, blah, blah. But ideally, I jumped off a 3-story building and I didn't break a bone.
And you live to talk about it.
I didn't break a bone.
You
So
live
how
to
far,
talk about it.
if you were to guesstimate, how far was the tree from the house? And was it like as tall as the house, or was the main part of the tree about equal to the 3rd floor, and then it was just a little bit more of the canopy of the tree? You understand what I'm saying? Like how far was the tree from the house? Guesstimate it.
Fuck, I don't know. There was a yard. There was like a little bit of a yard between the house and the tree. There was like, he had like this blue triplex or whatever it was, apartment building, and a little bit of yard, and there was like trees here. So I don't know
Were the
how
branches like growing towards the roof? Like before you hit the tree, did you hit a bunch of branches? Like,
Jesus
going
Christ.
in?
What are you guys,
Because
biologists?
I'm trying to.
no,
I'm trying to-
this is a weird question.
You're saying to us that you jumped from a 3rd-story window, you jumped to a tree, you hugged the trunk of the tree,
like a
and you
fire,
slid
like
down.
a fire pole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely
That's
branches
what-
and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I had scratches, but I didn't break any bones or anything. But I like when the tree was probably, I don't know, fucking 30 feet. I don't know. I really don't know that.
And when you put your arms around it, like, could your fingers touch, or was it just a big, big, big trunk?
No. It was a big.
How girthy was the
Wait,
tree?
I thought I was the horny one. You guys got. She's like, how big were the balls on this tree?
And then you climb up and then slide down again and climb up and slide
All right,
down.
talk about was this tree circumcised? I go, what the fuck?
God, your guys' stories are so dirty. How do we make this story dirty?
But no, I'm serious. Like I just can't imagine that you would be able to jump from a 3rd-story apartment building and then be on
Hit
a
a tree.
tree that would be sturdy enough to keep your weight, but yet
Any
not
tree gets
hit
sturdy.
branches going down.
I hit branches,
Definitely
but it
wasn't
didn't
30
break
feet.
any bones, or I hit branches for sure. Yeah, like I woke up with scratch marks all over my arms. I didn't break any bones, or I obviously am alive.
It had to have been at
Right.
least. It had to have been. I would say like 5 feet away, because if it was 30 feet, you would have just hit the ground.
30
He's
feet.
saying 30 feet tall.
Oh, I thought you
Of
said
the
30
tree.
feet
Yeah.
across. Like you
No,
had to
no,
jump
no, no.
30 feet to get to the tree.
No, the tree was probably like,
It was 3 stories high.
yes. God damn it.
Jessica
The
has
yard
already
probably-
fucking mapped out in her brain.
The yard
already.
probably was 30 feet. I mean, how many feet's this room? I mean, you have to think that I'm running and jumping off of a roof of a building.
Yeah, but you can't jump 30 feet.
And then you also overestimate how far you can get,
Yeah.
because as soon as you leave, you just start falling.
Yeah, because
You
if
probably
you
make it
jump,
like
if you're
4 feet
jumping
out
and
of-
you're
out,
jumping
and then you
with,
start
taking a running jump, and you're jumping on a tree 30 feet away.
I think you guys are
You're saying-
confused with the math here, which
No,
is
no,
like,
no,
I don't
no.
know the math of the yard
no,
of the
but
tree.
I'm just saying, if you're jumping on a tree with that much velocity, then the tree has to be a pretty sturdy fucking tree. And if it's a pretty sturdy tree, to not tip over when you're jumping on it like that, or to even bend a little bit.
It was
and you're
sturdy.
saying you slid down. Like, how did branches not like whack you in the balls and whack your nose?
Again,
and do
guys,
that?
this was not comfortable the next morning. Like, the next morning, I felt like fucking shit, but at night, I was like, woo, baby.
Yeah,
Call
you
me
survived.
Edward. I was like, I was whipping out my 40s. I was like, yeah, buddy. And I got pussy all night, and I was like, yeah.
Did you have to fuck the girls with the 40?
I was like, I'm going to jerk off on your mom, you know?
That's
Hey,
just
this
so
is-
sad
this
the
is
way
wild.
you're improving like that. It made
I don't
me-
know what
just
I was
made me
doing.
sad.
Guys, this was
Just made me
college.
sad, Michael Evans.
The
Why
story-
is he doing that?
My stories are short.
You guys, all right, as wild as this seems, I believe the story.
Really?
Yeah.
I,
Here's why.
now I want it to be a lie.
Here's why. Because there was a tree next to my 3rd-story window in college, and I, too, have used a tree to get out of the 3rd-story window. It's not like you jump to the tree and it's like this smooth fire pole experience down. It's more like he should have explained it like I used the tree to get to the ground from the
That-
3rd-story
Well,
window.
I believe
that's why I
when
think
you
it's a lie.
that's what. Yeah, I believe when you say that, but the
Well,
way he's
jeez, you
telling
didn't
the
drill
story,
him with. His
Yeah,
story was
but
12
because
minutes.
he just said
Mine was 3.
I get what you're saying. He just said I understand what you're saying, but that was also not my experience to just shimmy down the tree like that, which was the way you sold that story.
I didn't shimmy down the tree.
You said you slid down the tree.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, I slid down the tree. Yeah.
See,
I didn't.
you gotta-
I wasn't a fucking swan.
You gotta make it
believe
real
he
dirty. so
slid
they fall
down the
down.
tree?
I think he.
didn't
I think he fell with style.
Yeah.
You know. I think.
The idea was to slide down the tree. The details.
All right, what are people saying online, Austin?
Come on, look. me
Raver
now.
Basher said that he thinks Vinny needs some fresh air. He's probably step out for a second.
Vinny's sweating.
No, I'm just.
I know.
Doughboy thinks that that's Vinny's aunt's story that he was telling. Jason Marino said he needs the recap because old Long Story Malone made him forget Little McGee's first story.
That's pretty. That's actually the most truthful thing we heard tonight.
But
Long Story Malone. That's a good name.
He's leaning to the tree story, this story being the lie. And they both say,
good.
he and Doughboy both say that this is a scene from National Lampoon's Vacation, or Christmas Vacation, so it couldn't possibly be a true story. Fartist says both first stories are a lie. And
Wait, did that happen at Christmas Story?
I don't know. I'm not.
You know, there
Ah.
was and you remember back when I was a kid, like there was a lot of movies with people like hanging out in trees next to windows.
Tree houses were the shit back then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What fucking movies are those,
No, it's
Jessica?
funny.
What are the titles? Say a title.
It's
Say
like
a title.
one movie, but I know what you're talking
Rest in peace,
about.
Robin Williams.
Christmas
You
Vacation.
know what I mean?
I do.
Like
yeah,
every
it's-
boy would get up on a tree next to the girl's window.
Yeah, like a predator.
Guys, I wasn't being a predator.
I know.
I was just trying to fit in.
All right, that's a really good story, and
I mean, do you?
we're gonna take a vote at the end of the podcast. But is there any other questions anybody wants to ask about this story before we move on?
No, I think we're good.
What about anyone online?
I did have a question from Fartist. I think he wanted to know what age you were in both stories. I'm trying to find it for sure, but I think he wanted to know your age.
They're both pretty close.
Because it was in
It's
college.
yeah. I was probably 22, 21, 22. College.
I think that covers it.
Yeah.
21.
But you had some scratches. Scratches?
Yes, definitely. I woke up in pain for sure, 100%.
Do you have any scars?
Yeah.
But
I
that's
definitely have scars.
Where? Show us.
I mean, other than the
You ready for this,
inside.
Tanya? You ready for this?
Yeah.
I have a scar on my head. I had a brain tumor. I had a brain surgery.
No,
when
we
I
were
was-
saying, do you have any scars from the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, from the. Oh,
No,
from
I
the,
meant I really did mean in general.
But now that
Oh.
you brought up the brain tumor,
No, you guys don't want to hear
we're
this
down.
podcast. You go from jerking off to brain tumors. You don't want that.
God, then I'll
I had a
come.
brain tumor when I was a kid. Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, I got a scar. Let's see if I can. See if we can hand it out.
How-
Dish it out.
Oh, damn.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Look at that.
Fake.
You
Fake.
figured out the lie.
How about the scar on this one? I planned it. I go, this one's gonna be fake, and this one's real.
That would be funny. Well, that was a good story. So what we're
yeah,
gonna do? Is there more to the story?
Oh no.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw to our commercial for Blue Apron. Here we go. But for you people playing along, what we're really going to do is now Austin is going to recap the stories, and then we're going to take a vote and see what's up.
All right, starting with an abridged version of Trey's stories. His first story,
Can I get those notes?
his drug guru Ari Shafir told him he should do an eighth of mushrooms, so he does half of that and calls his drug dealer Steve saying it's not working. Old Steve said the half hasn't kicked in yet, but Trey gets impatient and takes the rest and starts tripping a little, and remembers Ari also told him to jerk off while he was tripping. So he does, so much so that he jerks himself into giving his bed a golden shower. Story 2, he was in
But
elementary...
you didn't say the part where like it came.
Yeah, I
just
came
a
with no
tiny,
hands.
Yeah, he came with
I'm
no.
doing a lot
hands.
over here. I
I
mean, you
know.
guys take some notes.
But he
I
came
like
with
the
no
golden shower
hands.
one.
That's pretty good.
He was in elementary school and has been stalking Kill Tony almost as long as he's been alive. And Tony told him to start comedy, but then he just smoked his joint and dipped. So he stalked Tony Hinchcliffe all the way to Nashville, but he didn't get on stage for Kill Tony. He still decides to do open mics after and ends up banging some lady who did this really smart, sleazy thing where she says she has a boyfriend and they like to bring other dudes home. So he joins them and the boyfriend is over there primed and ready and watches them get a beach, but he's having a hard time finishing and eventually pops all over her face. And that's pretty much his recap.
Let me ask you a
Very
quick
good.
question. In the story, I was a little distracted. But did you have sex with that woman in a car? And before
No,
you
we
went.
we were making out in the car, and I thought we
Making
were going
out
to
in the
start.
car.
I thought she was going to start blowing. I
Yeah.
thought we were going to like start.
Yeah,
it
I
in the
just
car.
wanted to. Yeah.
Oh, Felicia, you're good.
You didn't get that part,
Yeah, because remember after I said one of the rules was no kissing. He's like, I didn't want to kiss her,
right?
and then you just
Well,
said
I didn't
they
wanna-
were making out.
I didn't
want
want
to.
to. I didn't want to
Yes.
kiss. I didn't want to kiss after. I didn't want to kiss after knowing what's going on. I thought I was hooking up with a girl. I didn't want to kiss her after. It's like, oh, you got a husband, and this is like a creepy thing. But I didn't want to kiss her after that. I'm
So
not gonna
where
make
did
out with her in
were
front
you
of her
guys
husband.
when you were making out in the car? Were you in the front seat or the back seat?
Front. She was in passenger.
Yeah. What kind of car was it?
My 2012 Ford Focus, the one that blew up halfway here.
Oh, you got a car blow up story too?
Wow. All right. Well, it's.
I could, it wasn't very long ago that I also came with no hands. So
Is that possible?
it was possible.
Shit, yeah.
It's you were by yourself.
I
No,
wanna
I
do-
was not by myself.
Well,
There was not a penis.
what was it?
It was,
That doesn't count.
You can't bring up a story like
Wait a
that,
second.
Jessica, and
Were
not.
you,
Do you
like,
guys
gyrating in
tell?
your
Do you guys tell
jeans?
stories at all?
Yeah, sometimes.
yeah.
I'm saying, do you tell lies and truths?
No.
Not really.
Well, we're gonna do a little reverse game here.
Okay. All right.
I want you to come on my podcast, and I want you to tell stories.
We will.
No, I'm
we
just
will. We'll totally do it.
I want to see what's going on. So
All right.
wait, how do you?
How did you?
He was like lightly choking me and playing with my breasts. And I came, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucking awesome.
Wild.
Oh my god, I go to Barry's boot camp. I'm like, you feel good?
Was he choking you with
She's
both
like,
hands
nah.
or one hand or
One hand because he had to have the other hand.
to play
For,
with?
yeah.
Really?
He touched your
Yeah.
boot.
Yeah. Did he talk to you while he did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he say?
I don't remember everything. It was just little naughty
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
But I mean,
Take back dinner.
it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's take a vote on these stories. What do you think, Michael Evans? Which one do you think is a lie?
Oh yeah, throw it to Michael.
Wait, are we in the vote as well for like? Am I voting for his
yes.
story?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I think that the shit. I think the first one really happened. I guess it had. If that didn't happen, you're right. What you said earlier. That's fucked up.
That's
that he,
so fucked
There's
up.
a lot of description,
Yeah,
especially when he
yeah.
knew he was putting us
But
through
then
it.
he
at a
drove
certain
all the
point.
way to Nashville, so like obviously he has time to think about fucked up shit. Like
true.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. I'm going first true, second lie.
God damn.
I think I think that kind of happened. He almost went home with them or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those things that you just never quite followed through with. But you're
What
like,
city
wow.
was it again?
Nashville.
It was in Nashville.
What did the girl look like?
It's a larger city.
Like a blonde bob cut.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really a fan of bob cuts either. but
Did she have like mom jeans
Bob-
on?
No, she was like my age. She was
Oh,
like
yeah?
early 20s.
Was she
Uh-huh.
your height?
No.
That would have been
Yeah.
crazy.
God,
though,
if she was. Oh, tall
Wow.
girls.
Was she like an anime chick?
No. That's what was kind of off-putting. Was I was like, really? You have a husband, and you would do this?
You lost me.
I don't see the problem in it, but
Uh-huh.
I'm
No
gonna
judgment, yeah.
I'm gonna say that the first one is the lie. I'm gonna say that he did go home with he got a beach.
in front of
front of a
strange
dude.
woman and her husband.
Yeah.
And then they
'Cause-
yeah.
Yeah. If he was gonna if that story was real, I feel like he would have said no from the beginning.
I think he watches a lot of porn and maybe that's a porn scene.
maybe, but you
Yeah.
also said you had been with your girlfriend that you had lost your virginity to for 5 years.
6 months after I broke up with her.
And did you have sex with anybody else
No.
after that? So this was only your second sexual
was-
experience. Yeah,
This is
it's true.
Really?
I think so. You know my sexual experiences.
Yeah, but
I don't.
a garbage dump wasn't in this story, Jessica.
We gotta change the name of this podcast to "I'm fucking wet down there," and I got a
Real-
dick.
Real quick, just to clarify for people online, Ari Shafir did not give him shrooms.
No.
He gave him advice via a book that said you
The
should do an
Ari,
eighth
the
of
Ari
shrooms.
Shafir shroom primer. If you
Shroom
Google
primer.
Ari Shafir shroom primer
Yeah.
and you've never done shrooms,
No, Ari
he'll
Shafir,
walk
not
you
a
through
drug
it.
dealer. Just clarifying. You got some confusion online.
God.
Okay,
He kind of is a drug dealer, but anyway.
Well,
Well,
He dealt Bert drugs.
that wasn't
In a way,
deal.
yeah.
Random question: did you ever have two people come on this podcast and they just made 2 real stories or 2 fake stories?
Oh, yeah, it's
we
the
did.
And you're
worst.
like,
the
that's
worst.
so annoying.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
hope you guys didn't do it.
I didn't.
What
but I'm
about
just
if he did it?
No,
though?
but
They're
if
both
somebody's
true.
but if somebody's smart, they'll
Yeah.
fabricate a truth to a
Well,
lie.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And yeah, but the fact that somebody comes on here and goes, they're both fake. It's like, dude,
Yeah, we know.
do you know how to improv? Like,
Right.
yes, and
That's
bro.
exactly why I put that in the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how you
It's
voting,
like be
Felicia?
respectful of the podcast.
It's
That being said, both of them are fake. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I have a hard time believing, and I don't mean this in a mean
Oh, mean it in a mean way.
Oh
way.
my
I
God.
don't. I know, but
Wait,
like,
can I guess what you're
uh-huh,
gonna say? Can I guess what you're gonna say?
Okay.
You have a hard time believing the second story because you don't see me like taking a girl home.
No. I have a hard time believing you as a young man would go have the like pre-thought to take a towel and put it on the bed.
Wait. Take a towel and put it where?
No, I'm totally fucking with you. I
Yeah,
do
I mean, how
believe
many-
that
yeah.
you.
How many years have you been
I do have a
masturbating?
hard time believing that someone would see you in a club and be like, blah, blah. But maybe this girl sounds like she had low self-esteem if she's doing this for her fucking man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
She
what
really
if
knows
you-
how to build
and-
people up.
No, I'm not saying it about.
You remember the
but
celebrity
You just look so
statement?
innocent.
that was way
you
with
just
him.
look so, and you're so young looking,
Mm-hmm.
and you look so innocent that it was probably a girl who, like, was like, you know what I mean? I'm afraid to ask, like, someone who looks like they slaying dick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like someone.
This
who,
guy definitely doesn't sling dick.
No, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You look wholesome
Yeah.
and sweet. Like that's not
And I
a.
was
put down-
coming off
yeah,
of like
you're from
hadn't been with anybody
fucking
else,
Kansas City.
My
yeah,
man
like,
watches a
yeah.
lot of porn.
Yeah.
Don't doubt the dudes that watch porn. They'll
Yeah.
fucking do some nasty shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? Get
Yeah.
out there and do it, bro.
It's the
Yeah.
third time he's winked at me in this podcast.
Bro, you get out there and fuck Kansas City wives. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Now,
He's like, I was out there
No.
porking anybody's wife. I said,
all right. So, did we already say the votes? What people are saying?
Did I hear your vote? I didn't-
I'm thinking about it still.
okay.
So far, everybody online seems to go with the second being lie. And Russell said, "Did I say this podcast was outrageous? Because it's outrageous."
Okay. All right. I do. And you think the second one is a lie, right, Jessica?
No, I think the second one is true.
He thinks the second one's a lie.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Jessica. You think the second story
I
is?
think the
yeah.
sex is true.
Yeah. I mean,
you think the second one's the truth?
Yep. I think that the lie is the masturbating shroom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have heard that something from Ari.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's reveal it. Then I gotta know.
Wait.
Okay.
I got-
What's your guess?
What's
Okay.
your-
No, I'm gonna go with Jessica. I'm gonna
Oh, you're
vote
saying
with
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Jessica.
first one's a lie.
So,
Okay.
all right.
So
So
we got-
we're voting that the second one is true.
Yep.
So all
Okay.
three of
First
you
one is a lie.
are
We're
second
on-
true,
yeah.
and him and the rest of everybody online.
I think
Uh-huh.
the first is true.
Okay. How do I reveal it? Do I just-
Which one is the
Whenever
lie?
ready.
Okay. The first one is 100% true. The
Yeah.
shroom story, the masturbating, 100% true.
I was really
The
hoping
second-
for your
the sec-
sake,
the
dude,
second story-
that it wasn't going to be
The
this
second
way.
story is based. The second story is based in truth. I did go to Nashville for Kill Tony. I did say that line to a
Uh-huh.
bartender.
He got me
Uh-huh.
there. Yeah, I knew that part was true.
I did say that line to a bartender, and she politely turned me down.
Yeah.
Everything else
I
after
knew
that.
Yeah.
that. See, you're smart. The first
fabricated.
one was from truth.
I can't.
But like I said, the first was just you reading a story. You were nervous.
Yeah.
Smart.
I actually
he
do
read-
have the first one as a bit, and that's one of
yeah,
the
go
laughs.
fuck yourself. All right, let's move on to the second story.
That thing
He's
was like,
not very good at it.
he said, turn this into a bit. Here's a punch, and I was like, that is a punch in my
All
bit.
right. So let's move on to the second story.
Real quick, have
I'm
you
having
had
so
sex with anybody else?
Oh yeah.
Since you're
After this, she was number one. I've had 5 so far.
All right, buddy.
Oh my God, he probably has a
Nice-
tattoo
nice-
somewhere on
nice
his
and
body.
raw.
right?
Dude, that's 5 more than me. Truth.
All right, do this recap.
Truth or
Austin.
lie.
All right,
Are
Vinny's.
you okay, buddy? You're very quiet today. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
Dude, he just watched The Joker. He's just trying to
you
like
know,
decompress.
It was a terrible movie to watch on the way to
It's
the podcast.
I watched it on the way here too, man.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
No. But
Oh, okay.
the first story for Vinny, he was in college sleeping and gets a late night call that his Chevy Cavalier is on fire because some guy lit a bunch of cars on fire because he went to a party school and he didn't have insurance on it, so he borrowed his mom's car. Story 2, he went to a big party school and was partying at his buddy Bobby's house, where he jumped off the roof of the 3-story building and landed onto a tree, catching some tree bark burn on the way down, but not breaking any bones, and he was only a little sore the next morning.
I think
I'd
the
say a little
second
bit
story
more
is a lie. The tree one is a lie.
I go with
Yeah.
Felicia. I think that the second one's a lie.
No, I think that the tree is true.
I think the tree is true as well.
I think the tree had too many details.
Tree Tales.
No, I was in the Air
Hell yeah, Tree Tail.
Tree
I was in the
That
Air
should have been my
Force.
podcast name.
I
Damn.
got tree tails. Oh, there you
When
go.
I was in the Air Force, I can remember these guys on the second or third story of our dorms hauling out a couch, catching it on fire, and throwing it out. So, like, this is just stupid shit that they do.
Yeah, we did that roof testing stuff.
Yeah.
Just to see.
They have a name for
You
it.
can roof test
Yeah.
anything,
Roof
a
test.
TV,
Yeah.
a microwave,
Yeah.
whatever you had.
Well, I have 2 sons. They're 19 and 20. And
Whoa.
one of my sons is a spry fellow like yourself, very like trim and muscular.
How old is your son? 18
I
and
thought you were talking to me.
He's 20.
How old do you think I am?
I think you are 46.
Thank you.
God, I've never been complimented like that before.
No, I think you're probably
65.
about 28 to 31.
33, thank you.
Oh wow, good for you,
Thanks.
So I think the I'm gonna say now the tree story is true. I'm gonna say the tree story is true. Is that what I said the first time?
No, you did not.
Okay.
You're changing your
I'm
mind.
still sticking
Yeah,
with
no,
Now, what's
because now
making
that
you
I said
swap?
that, my son is he's not he's a compact fella. And he's very muscular, and he's very like he could walk on his hands when he's 3, but he has like your, he kind of looks like your physicality. So I could see where maybe if you took a running jump, but you're not that big of that you would fly and that you would be able to control it a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna say that.
Tree is true.
All right, I'm gonna go. But if you're fucking wrong again, Jessica, I'm gonna be so mad at you. Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna say
you're
tree is
not
false.
supposed to go along with me.
You
I
think
know,
the tree is
I know.
false?
Yeah.
You think the tree is false over there?
Correct.
Why
Tree
is
is false. The first one's true just because of how no details.
Yeah, that's what I think too. He would just
breathe.
breeze through that. He's like, "Hey, here's the truth that happened."
he said-
Let's move
said
on."
no-
I like in the defense, devil's advocate, because
Uh-huh.
I'm
I
just
have to
playing
also
devil's advocate.
urinate so
I was
bad.
questioned a
So
lot.
bad.
I was questioned a lot more
Can
in
I
the
go
second
real quick and
story.
come back?
Uh-huh.
First story, I was
I'm
not
sorry.
questioned.
That's true.
Just
He's
just devil's advocate,
Yeah.
not leading one way or the other. I'm just saying is I wasn't questioned on the first story that
He's gotta
much.
pee.
Okay, well, I call bullshit because I asked you where in the pattern of all the cars was the car, what kind of car was
Yeah,
it, what color
there's a
was it,
couple
what color
questions.
was the interior, you know what I mean? What
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
accelerant was
That's
used? So
No,
fuck
that's
yourself.
good. No, that's good. But I feel like that's good. I'm just saying. I
Okay,
feel
okay.
like I wasn't as questioned as much on the
Right.
first story. No, but you did. You said that.
Yeah.
Again, like I told you guys, true or false.
Uh-huh.
I go. I'm going with a story that was a long time ago. So, and both taking same time, time, place. Like
Uh-huh.
I don't
will say-
remember. I don't remember a lot of the details, even
Uh-huh.
from the true story.
Right.
The only thing that would make me want to change my mind is when I was in the Air Force. Remember I told you I flipped my car into a canal with my snake?
Yes.
Wait, what?
And
Yeah,
then
tell that story.
Yeah, tell that story.
What the
again.
fuck is that?
You don't
Wait,
remember that story?
I mean, you can't just
No.
breeze through like, yeah, one time I just fucking set off an M80 in fucking Iran. All right, just came back to. You just simple. All right, and just got some
Into a
got some
canal.
Okay,
Chick-fil-A.
so what
I
is-
had a red-tailed boa. I took her to the store with me.
It's happened all in
The
England, by the
store.
way.
This
What
is in
store
England.
specifically?
And when
I
she
was
stationed
going
in
to a
England.
convenience store because I had recently been robbed, and they stole all my cigarettes and booze out of the refrigerator.
And snake food.
You keep the smokes in the
And you took
refrigerator?
the
I
snake
did in
with you?
at the time, yes.
Well, yeah, if
Very-
they're stealing shit, you gotta have your snake with you.
Right.
They didn't steal the snake.
They did not. So I was on my way to the store. It was late night. It was raining. Of course, it's England. There's a big curve, and then there was this dog that ran out in front of me, and I swerved, and I ended up inside this big canal. You know how much it fucking rains there?
Yeah.
It's a huge canal, right? And my car is sinking. I have my snake around my neck. I have to get out.
This is a lie.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what we're doing.
Dude, this
It's
is
just-
wild. This is the
This-
crazy.
So what? But
I
what
just-
does that story have to do
Well,
with his
I-
story?
Okay, I thought I was going to get a new car. I did not have gap insurance
Uh-huh.
at the time. I owed more than the
Wait,
insurance
what's
gave
gap
me.
insurance again? One more time.
They cover the gap of what you owe in the car.
Yeah, anything you were wearing.
So what
Yeah.
my car was not worth what I owed on it. So I ended up
Yeah.
having to pay more.
Right. Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
I ended
yeah.
up upside down. I didn't
Right.
get any new car like I was
Right.
expecting.
Yeah.
I'm changing my mind because of my snake story.
So now you're gonna say the first story is
This is
true?
also funny because I just had this car accident. I just to fill you guys
You
in.
did.
I had a car accident this week. That's why I'm a little stressed out. That's why I came on stressed out today. I hit somebody because they stopped just randomly because some homeless dude ran across. I don't know, in a fucking backpack but butt naked. I don't know. But anyways, I hit that car and it just, that's
All right.
just the irony. I mean, there's no punches. Just
So now I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say that the tree is a lie.
Oh.
And I'm going to say that the car fire, true.
Okay.
you guys are all over the place. I love
I'm
it.
still going tree true, baby. I'm on that.
I'm still
had-
sticking with my original one, which is what you say now. Tree,
Okay.
not true.
What about you?
If I would have added a jerk off part into that story, would you have believed it?
More likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I think the first story is definitely true. The Chevy Cavalier. That's what I'm going with.
I think he had a Cavalier. I don't think it was in. I think it was.
I
near
think
where
he
the other
started
cars
the
caught fire.
fire.
You didn't start the
Fire.
fire.
Okay. And what is everyone online saying?
Kia says, "Wow, he has such a punchable voice." And
A punchable voice?
I've never heard
Who
that
the
before.
fuck is Kia?
You leave Kia out of this, young man.
Jason Marino has switched. I believe he's now going with the tree story being a lie, along with Raver Basher and Russell.
Oh, they all switched because of my snake story.
But Kia and Doughboy
Yes,
are sticking with the
Yeah, I'm
first
gonna
story
stick
being
with
a lie.
Kia and Doughboy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you stick
I'm
with
saying
it.
the first story is the lie.
And the Raver Basher says Vinny needs to talk to somebody. So if we can get a psychiatrist down here for after the show. that'd be good.
I'd like to
After
say-
my two stories, I think you need a psychiatrist. That's saying
I mean, this
something,
guy
bro. You
told
gotta
two
call a
fucking I
doctor.
jizz out of my dick stories, and I gotta talk to somebody?
Yeah, you're the
Yes.
one catching cars.
Mine are
on
a little
fire.
bit three.
You told clean stories that were
Well,
very
this
short.
was fun. Just let me
You need a
uncalendar this
therapist.
one. Don't invite me back.
All right. So which story is the lie?
Which one? Oh, you want me to tell
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah, which one was the lie?
Both of them? No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking kill you, dude.
The tree story is a lie.
I told you. Too many details.
My tree story is not a lie. Still, for the record.
No, but
Oh.
somebody
I
told
should never agree with you,
I
Michael.
know, I
should
fucking-
never
somebody.
agree.
No, but no. But somebody told me that that tree story was because I was trying to figure out what lie story it was just today trying to figure out fuck what am I gonna say. So somebody told me a story about jumping off the I made the joke about how I want to jump off the roof of a building. Like,
oh, because you're in such a bad mood.
right,
today or
right.
upset.
Just like a
I
little.
know that feeling.
Yeah, just because I want to fucking kill myself, just joke wise. And
Pray for
then,
you
and
guys.
then, she said her dad like jumped off the building and or caught a tree and like a drunken stupor. So car story was true, but
Okay.
in my defense, I was drilled a lot more on the second story. So I feel like I should have swaps. I should have told my lie first.
We both told our truths first.
Fartis
Yeah,
thinks
you
that.
did.
What are you bragging, Trey? Because you jerk off into towels, buddy? This guy jerks off into towels.
Fartis thinks that both stories are a lie, and he just changed his mind after he realized how much we hated
No.
both people.
Well, you guys have been. Thank you so much for letting us tease you, and you've been awesome
Hey, thank you for
guests.
letting
And
me on here.
Thanks for having us
thanks for
on.
doing the podcast. Thank you guys that are watching live and playing along with us live. We are so thrilled that people are doing that, and for everyone listening as an audio podcast, thank you so much for coming back to us.
Give it up for Russell 2-0 on his first live
Oh,
show.
nice,
man.
nice. Thank you, Russell, for joining us. And
Do you ever think that the more famous people don't want to do it, not because of the stories, but because we're mean?
No, I think because they don't want to get caught in like some fucking 5-second, like,
Oh, yeah.
I raped her. What? What? You know what I mean? I think it's that.
Okay, well, all right. I mean, I feel like we're famous, right, Kansas?
Right, Kansas?
Right,
Kansas,
Kansas.
Missouri.
Biggins.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And do us a big favor. Will you tell the dates that we have?
Yeah.
March 3rd, we're in the Belly Room at 8 o'clock. And this Friday, coming up on Valentine's Day, bring your lover out to the Ice House because the Liars Club is there
Right.
at 8:30. And you guys
Even
can,
if it is a young boy and your husband.
whatever you're
Yeah,
into.
even as a young man in his left
It's
hand.
only allowed to be a
Jason
young boy
Marino,
and her
Felicia will be
husband.
looking that night. So come
I
on
really
out.
wish my second story was true, because then I'd be less pathetic.
Yeah, you'd be a lot cooler. I thought for you.
Kind of, sort of. Anyway, where can people find you, or what do you have shaking that you would like people to know about?
I just have a podcast called Tall and Oats on iTunes, Stitcher, and Laughable. My Instagram, Cash App, and Venmo is all Trey Thompson. I have $2.96 in my checking account.
Jesus Christ,
Wow,
I'll Venmo you,
no
buddy.
one's ever gave a Venmo thing.
It was
What
my
the fuck?
Instagram and
tell-
Venmo and Cash
If you
App.
tell
be
us
fair,
a
I've
clean
never
story, I'll
had-
give you $2.
Okay.
Tell us something nice. I showered one time. I didn't jerk off that day. I go, all right, $2.
All And you? Where can people find you? What do you got shaking? What
My
are
name's
your
Trey Thompson.
aspirations?
Follow me on Venmo and Vinny Fasline, Vinny with a Y, Fasline no T. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I do all, I travel, I tour a lot. I'm pitching a couple TV shows. Hopefully one of them's popping pretty soon.
Oh, you're gonna pop?
I'm gonna pop.
Popping. I'm gonna
All
pop
right.
this TV show right on the towel.
Okay, there
And
you go.
I shot a pilot called Friend Zone and blah 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 blah. We'll see.
Okay,
Things are
well,
coming.
Good luck. Good
Thanks.
luck. Our fingers are crossed
Yeah,
for you. Wonderful. And what about you, Michael Evans?
I'm opening the main room at the Improv tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Yay!
So come
Good
check
for
me
you,
out.
Michael
Oh, this is
Evans.
live?
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, on
High
the
Five
comments.
Michael on
That's right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow my Instagram, High Five Michael.
you got to get Instagram.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jason Marino thinks he can make it on Friday for you, Felicia, so he said he'll see you there. I'm at the Austin Walker on everything. As we said, March 3rd here in the Belly Room. Valentine's Day the 14th at the Ice House at 8:30. Catch us there. Liars_Club on Twitter and the Liars Club 1 on Instagram. Follow us.
All right, and you can follow me all across the board at Felicia Michaels. If you have Amazon Prime, please go check out my comedy special called The Whole Story, and also check out my documentary I made with Felipe Esparza, Joey Diaz, and Paul Provenza, and a bunch of other people called Pervs.
Yes, I'm at Jess Wellington 2 on everything. I'll be with Mo Mandel in Portland in the last weekend of this month over at Harvey's. Come check that out.
In Birmingham?
And we're going to be in Birmingham on the 25th and 26th. And then we're going to be in North Carolina the 27th, 28th, 29th, I believe.
Damn, we're plugging a lot.
Raver
Yeah,
Basher
in
says
March.
back off.
Follow me
Marino.
at South by Southwest. I have a show at South by Southwest.
Every Monday I'll be at the Comedy Store trying to get on Kill Tony.
We know.
Just getting one more credit.
This is the last time I'm putting on Kill Tony, guys. And you
Nice.
have been lied to.